Welcome to part 2 of making the ring bling quilt. I'm working with a fat quarter of one of the color fabrics, and I'm going to be primarily cutting with Accuquilt, which I'll be showing you in a moment. And for that you have to cut out some rough pieces that it details in the pattern for fitting over the Accuquilt dies, but there are a couple things that need to be cut with a rotary cutter regardless, and one of the things is the 2.5 by 6.5 inch strips. So you want to line up your fat quarter by having the selvage at the top and putting the cut line matched evenly with that selvage, and then lined up on one of the lines here, and then we're going to go over 2.5 inches, and we're going to line up that 2.5 inch line right along the right edge of our fabric here, and line up the lines at the bottom. And then we're going to cut. I'm left-handed, so I'm cutting along the left side, but you would be doing it the exact opposite and cutting along the right side. We will need a second strip in order to get the 4 that we need, so we're going to do it again. Line up the 2.5 inch along that right edge, so you can see that's lined up right along the right edge, and then we're going to cut here along the left edge. Then we have to cut the 6.5 inch section, so we're going to line the fabrics up on the ruler like this. We're going to trim those selvages off. Leave them in place right on the line there. And then move our 6.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, which is right here. Lining up the black lines on the ruler exactly with the lines on the mat, and we cut. And there are our 4 6.5 inch by 2.5 inch rectangles. Now the pattern tells you the size of the rough cuts, and they're fitting over the die. This is where there's a blade right here that's going to cut a half square triangle, and you can cut 6 at a time. So I've laid 6 layers there, and I've also laid 6 layers over these squares. And then you put a mat over the top and another mat over this one, and you can run them both through at the same time. This is an electric Go Big cutter. Then once they've been cut, you rub the mat to give it a little love, slide it off, and pull the fabric off, and look, you have all your